How it would take place then. Now, JP suggests that there are four different aspects of this total revolution. And in his understanding, there would be no construction, right? And this is something which would be the most important thing to be done in JP's understanding, right? So construction, what this aspect is, that I would come back again and I will tell you in little detail. But construction, propaganda, right? Organization, construction, propaganda, organization, and there is a fourth thing that JP suggests. Is there in the material that I have sent you across, right? Just a moment. Okay, construction, propaganda, organization, and struggle, right? So these are the four, these are the four aspects of total revolution in JP's thought, right? Now, construction would mean what? Construction, again, is to be seen wherein every individual is working towards the inculcation of all those values which would bring about complete transformation. So, moral transformation is something which would be the overall objective, which would be the overall aim of the construction part in total revolution. Now, this construction has to be seen associated with, or has to be seen linked with, the socio-political and economic lives of people, right? So everyone should be or ought to be doing something which would be meaningful not just for himself but for the society at large. Everyone ought to be doing something wherein an individual's freedom would rather be ensured and individual's freedom rather would be secure. Everyone should be doing some act which would be meaningful for the society in a manner that it would contribute in terms of bringing about some economic change, and especially at the local level. Now, construction again would mean that people take up those activities which would be targeted against the elimination of corruption. So this is what the whole aspect of construction would be, right? See, again, I may link it with the whole, idea of constructive program, that Gandhi had suggested, right? If you recall, I had mentioned it that how Gandhi suggests that if constructive programs, they would be accepted by the Indians in right earnest and in spirit, then it would lead to Purna Swaraj. So, Gandhi had listed a host of activities, approximately 18 in number, which would be part of his constructive program, right? And you will see that as far as JP's idea of construction is concerned, construction, in fact, aims to achieve most of those socio-economic changes which was part of Gandhi's constructive program. So when JP meant construction, he meant that there should be equality in the society. There should not be any discrimination based on caste, right? No one should be exploited. As far as economy is concerned, economy should be carried out in a manner where the basic minimum requirements of everyone is fulfilled. Politics is something wherein no one is exploited and politics works in the interest of the general masses, right? Government is not authoritarian and totalitarian, rather than there is governance wherein everyone's freedom can be ensured. So then that's what one can understand as far as the whole idea of construction was concerned, right? So construction would mean what? The process of undertaking those activities which would lead to, or which would eventually end up in the constructive changes in the socio-economic and material life of people, right? In the moral fabric of the people. So that's what the construction will be. And for that there has to have a continuous struggle, right? So that's what construction is struggle. And this struggle has to be continued, this struggle has to be waged at different levels. So at the level of the individual, right? So at the level of the individual, this struggle has to go on in a manner that individual brings about complete transformation in himself or herself, right? This is how one would look at construction, right? Sorry, struggle, right? Similarly, the people can work together to bring about those changes or complete transformation at the level of the groups, villages, right, districts, provinces, and eventually at the national level. So this struggle is to continue, right? This struggle okay. We are reconnecting, huh? Okay, right. We are back, huh? So the point I was trying to make that this struggle has to be waged by individuals, groups, provinces, and nation, right? And this struggle has to be continuous. There will not be any end to the struggle because transformation requires that this struggle has to be continuous. So similarly, along with construction and struggle, JP would give importance to propaganda. Now, propaganda here doesn't mean that people are supposed to spread rumors, and they are supposed to mobilize people, and that would happen on some kind of false promises or wrong information. Rather, propaganda here would mean that right information has to be communicated to the people. And this had its importance because in JP's understanding, in the whole process of party politics, the media possibly was not playing an impartial and honest role. So that is where, through the means of propaganda, again, just to repeat, by propaganda here JP means that the right information and facts, they are to be told to the people. Propaganda here means that people are to be told that what is the importance of this total revolution and what it would mean when individuals or groups or provinces or nations, they undertake the struggle for complete transformation of their socio-economic and political life. And they are supposed to inculcate moral values wherein individuals' freedom can be ensured and right kind of governance can be ensured, rather than simply choosing a government which may turn out to be authoritarian. So that is where he would emphasize the importance of propaganda. And finally, all this thing would require organization. Now, this organization doesn't mean that there has to have a tightly knit organization wherein there is a kind of hierarchical order where people follow the